going to go through this, and again, I'm just going to kind of go at a fairly rapid clip so we can cover everything. If you want me to slow down, let me know. If you want me to speed up, let me know. And as I said, we'll try and throw in a couple of exercises here and there. If you attended the first session when we talked about greeting people and the standard greeting, this is on the telephone. You say the name of the organization, you say your name, etc. But there was one thing we told you to remember to do before you picked up the telephone, and what was that? Smile, yes, and remember you smile. Why? Because your voice goes up a half an octave. When I'm talking to you now, you see me. So you're making certain mental images based on what you're seeing. Am I smiling? Am I seem to be nice? Am I seem to be a pain in the neck? You're making all these images. Hi.
Hi.
We have a chair right here.
I've already been to 3, so that's why I'm a little late.
You've been to the first 3?
I've been to 4.
Okay.
This is 3, 4, and 5?
This is 3, 4, and 5, so you can get yourself a piece of pizza and a soda, and you're not going to miss anything for about 20 minutes. Okay, good. Oops, I did it again. Okay, so this is just a visual of that. If you're on the phone and the person on the phone is saying, Jimmy didn't show up for work this morning, that's kind of a casual tone. Now imagine what you're hearing is, Jimmy didn't show up for work this morning? Jimmy didn't show up for work this morning. Jimmy didn't show up for work this morning? Look at the message you're getting just by the tone. So that's why we say, put a smile on your face. It gives kind of a friendly tone right off the bat. Okay, putting a caller on hold. The important thing to remember when you put the person on hold, you always ask for permission. Can I put you on hold? You don't just, and I'm sure you've called places and you've gotten this. Dr. So-and-so's office, hold please. And you're just about to say something and they cut you off. So, can I put you on hold? The other thing, and I shouldn't even have to say this, but it happens, make sure when you say, when you're going to put the person on hold, the person's on hold before you start speaking to someone. There have been times when someone said, I got that pain in the ass doctor on the phone again, and they didn't hang up yet, so we want to make sure of that. All right, you want it, you're working, you're busy working, doing something, and someone interrupts you. What's a polite way of getting out of it? What many people will say is, Sally, listen, I'm right in the middle of something now, call me back. That comes across as kind of rude. Okay, a better way of doing it is the 3 steps here. You say something nice to the person. We say yes to the person. Hi, Sally, it's good to hear your voice. Hi, Sally, glad you called. Gee, I'm right in the middle of something right now. Is there a time that I could call you back? By saying something nice, it's welcoming, then letting them know you're in the middle of something, and then instead of saying call me back, is there a time when I can call you back? Again, it comes across as friendlier, much more polite. And you might ask them what's a convenient time for you to call them back, so it's convenient to them. All right, you've all been on the phone with people, and they talk, and they talk, and they talk, and they talk. And you want to get off the phone, but you don't want to seem rude. Again, a couple of steps you could take. First thing is you start talking in the past tense. So, Joe, it was good talking to you. Gee, this was really a productive call. Gee, I'm glad we had a chance to talk. Past tense. It's signaling the call is coming to a close. Then you close with a summary of what you covered. Okay, let's just recap what we agreed to, especially with your patients. Let's just recap what we agreed to. And then the follow-up action. Okay? And thank them for calling. Past tense, summarize. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Thank them for calling. You get out of it without being rude. All right, the call back. You need to call someone back. A brief explanation, ask permission to make the call back, and get an agreed upon time. Simple stuff. Taking messages, we all take messages for people. One of the problems is when we take messages sometimes, some of us just take the message and leave it on the person's desk. The problem with that is what happens, Laura, right? Laura, let's say I wound up talking to Laura at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm out in the field, she's out in the field, and we're talking on the phone. Laura comes back in, and she finds a message. Jean called. She comes back in the office at 3:30. The message is Jean called. Did Jean call at 9 o'clock? Which means she already spoke to me? Did she call at 3 o'clock? Which means it was after we had spoken? By just putting the time down and your initials down, it makes it easy, okay? The time, why? So people don't have to make an extra call that they don't have to make. It wastes your time, their time. You look foolish because it's like you don't know what's going on. And the other part of it is make sure you put your initials, so if I have any questions, I know who to ask. Some phrases you don't want to use. She's impossible to find or reach. As soon as I can, I'll give you a message. And these are all real things that I should say. She's working at home. It's no one's business if you're working at home, working someplace else. She's always off somewhere. It's a real challenge to get her. He'll be back on Monday. Would you like to try again then? What's the problem with that, by the way?
You have to put more effort.
Yeah, you're asking the person to put more effort. They just called. Better to say, can we call you back on Monday? You know, call back. And the last one you don't want to say, obviously, I'm sorry, he's at the proctologist. And that's just a cute way of saying you don't want to give out personal information. If you get a wrong number. Big thing with the wrong number is make sure you know who the person is to transfer. They had a problem here where if you go to find out different people and where they were working, the telephone list wasn't up to date. As we were going through this training, they realized it wasn't up to date, so they're getting it up to date now, so that you'll be able to just go online, find out who the person is, where they work, and be able to transfer it appropriately. That's important. We've all been in situations where you call up, and I know your phone system, and I know a lot of people hate the phone system, and we've mentioned that because you don't get a human being. So you've had that, you call up, press this, press that. After pressing 4 different things, finally you get somebody. Now you get someone and they say, oh, you've got the wrong person. I'm going to transfer you. Sometimes they lose you. You got to start all over again. Sometimes they don't lose you, but they transfer you to the wrong person. Now, if you happen to be the person that they're trying to reach, after they went through those 4 steps pressing buttons, after maybe they got lost, or maybe they got transferred to the wrong person, and now they get you, what are they? They're annoyed and angry. Okay? And now here you are, you're not trying, you didn't bother anybody, and you're getting this angry person on the phone. So the idea is make sure we transfer it correctly. All right, we're not going to do that exercise. All right, when you hear people on the phone, generally there are 3 types of expressions you hear. People will either make a statement, offer an objection, or ask a question. You want to get it right, whether they're making a statement, offering a question, saying an objection. If you don't, you're going to wind up hearing what you want to hear, hearing what you expect to hear, or in fact getting it wrong. So, imagine hearing this. Your tests are taking a little longer than I thought they would. Is the customer making an objection, making a statement, or asking a question? What do you think?
All 3.
No.
How many say objection? 1. How many say statement? Bunch of you. How many say asking a question? Okay. The easiest, it's not asking a question, by the way. So it's either making an objection or making a statement. The easiest way to determine which of the two it is ask yourself, how would I respond? If a person was making an objection, how would you respond? About the test. Let's do the statement first. If they said your tests are taking a little longer than I thought they would, and you thought it was just a statement, what would you do?
Agree.
I'm sorry?
Agree. Yeah, they
And then what?
apologize.
No. If you thought they were just making a statement, bless you.
You could make up some
I was
reason.
asking, well, this is Bob, were they hoping it'd be shorter?
Yeah, well, they're hoping to be shorter, and then you find out what.
Then you apologize if they say, yes, I was.
Okay, usually with a statement, what you do is you respond by taking some action. Okay? Gee, the tests are taking a little longer than I thought they would. It's just a statement. Let me check and see where they are. Let me see what's holding it up. Okay? If you think they're making an objection, then you can apologize. Then you can say, gee, I'm sorry. Let me check and see what happens. So in this case here, if someone's saying your tests are taking a little longer than I thought they would, chances are they're very nicely making an objection. And so you want to apologize. Okay, what you want to do really, whenever you have an objection, is listen to what the caller says. I'm going to go through a whole thing on this. Make sure you respond in the appropriate way. We'll cover that in the next couple of seconds. Always you're going to apologize. Remember, we talked about you're apologizing for the inconvenience, not that you did anything wrong. Now, there are three types of callers that you're going to get when someone makes an objection. Okay? One is, I'm going to just paraphrase and say, the nice person. They've called, they've got a problem, they're making the objection. They're easy to deal with. You're just going to try to help them out, correct it, it's fine. There are two other types of people. One is called an assertive caller, and one is called an irate, aggressive caller. So let's focus on the assertive caller right now. What does an assertive caller want?
A solution.
Yeah, they want a solution. They want action. They want it to be fixed when they have an objection. The reason why they're being assertive is, what are they doing when they're assertive?
Solving the problem.
No, they're not solving it. You have to solve it.
Being objective.
Lighting a fire under you.
Yeah, they're taking control. They're taking control and trying to get you to do what they need you to do right away. So, the easiest way to handle an assertive caller is give them action. Because when they get action, that's what they're looking for. I'll give you an example of that, about control and action. A number of years ago, I was visiting my mother in Montefiore Medical Center. She was on the 6th floor. So I walk in, it's about 6 o'clock at night after work. I'm dressed in my suit and tie, you know, the whole bit. I get into the elevator, nobody's there. I press 6, the elevator starts going up, and it stops. Okay? I press 6 again, doesn't move. Press 5, doesn't move. Press 7, doesn't move. Now I press every number on there, doesn't move. Now I'm claustrophobic. So I do what every rational, educated, older adult would do. Scream, yes, and bang on the door. You know, let me out of here. I'm banging on this door. Well, somebody hears me, and they say, "What's the matter?" I'm stuck in the elevator. We'll get somebody to help you. Okay, immediately I calm down. Right? Help is on their way. Well, I wait about 15 minutes, nobody comes. And I say, uh-oh, I gotta push the alarm. I push the alarm. The alarm goes like this. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh.
Yes, my exact phrase was, oh, and you could fill it in. Okay? Now panic starts again. So I pick up the phone. There's a phone there. Pick up the phone, I get somebody on the phone. Hi, how can I help you? He said, I'm stuck in the elevator. Which one? I look up, okay, there's a number on the elevator, number 6. I'm stuck in elevator number 6. Okay, We'll get somebody to help you. Great. Call me back, please. Okay. 15 minutes goes by. Nobody calls me back. I get on the phone again. I'm still stuck in this elevator. You were getting somebody to help me. Oh yeah, we are. Well, did you reach him? Well, no. I said, what do you mean you didn't reach him? We can't find him. I said, you can't find him. Where is he? He went home. I said, where's home? Is it Staten Island? Is it, Brooklyn? Where's home? Oh no, he lives in the Bronx, but we'll get him and he'll be back. I said, okay, as soon as you reach him, call me back. 15 minutes goes by, I still don't get a call. Now, you can imagine, I'm nervous, I'm claustrophobic, I'm all this. Well, at this point, I say, I gotta do something. So I pick up the phone and I said, where is he? We got him, he's on his way. I said, good. If he's on his way, let me ask you a question. Does he have the tools necessary to fix anything that might go wrong? And if he doesn't, she said, yes, he does. She said, I don't know. I said, well, if he doesn't, and he has to go back to his shop, is his shop in the hospital? Or is it someplace else that he has to go to? I'm trying to figure out how long am I going to be stuck here. No, he'll have what he needs right there. I said, okay, good. I said, again, as soon as he arrives, I want you to call me up. And if he doesn't arrive in 15 minutes, I want you to call me back anyway. No calls. 15 minutes later. I now pick up the phone and I said, I want to talk to the administrator on call. Because in every hospital in the evening there's an administrator on call. I get the administrator on call. I said, listen, I'm stuck in this elevator for about an hour now. They don't know where this guy is. They said they contacted him. I want to know when he's going to get here. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to let me know, not the person on the phone, I want you to let me know as soon as he arrives. We can't do that. Why not? Well, we have a lot of different entrances to the hospital. I said, do you have a security guard at every entrance? Yes. I said, well, you're going to call every security guard and let them know as soon as the elevator guy arrives to call me up. I'm claustrophobic. I've been in here an hour. That's it. They said, call me back in 10 minutes. Got a call in 10 minutes. He's on his way. Did he arrive there yet? I don't think so. I said, you don't think so? I said, I tell you what, I'm now in this elevator an hour and 15 minutes. I said, you got 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, I want to know what your plan B is at that time. She said, we'll call the fire department. I said, good. Here's what you're going to do. Number one, you're going to call up your emergency room, and you're going to have a doctor waiting there to examine me, because I'm starting to get chest pains, and I want to be checked out. I was getting chest pains. I want to be checked out. I said, number two, you're going to, as soon as that guy arrives, call me up. And number three, if 15 minutes passes and none of this happened, you're calling the fire department, and I would expect them within 15 minutes. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm making a call, and my call's to my attorney. Well, notice I'm not nervous anymore. I'll tell you the end of the story, then we'll go to the moral. In about 10 minutes, the elevator starts moving, starts going down. And you think I'd be happy, right? I never got a call. So I don't know if this was the guy fixing it or if it was falling. So all of a sudden I'm panicked again. The thing goes straight down, it opens at the basement. At this point, this is before cell phones, by the way. At this point, I don't care, I'm getting off. Now you had to see what I look like. Remember I got in a nice suit, nice with tie and all of that. My jacket's off, my shirt's open, my tie's down to here, my hair is all messed up. And this guy is getting on the elevator. And I went to him, I said, buddy, look at me, look what I look like. And he looked at me, with these big eyes. I said, I was just in that elevator an hour and a half. I said, you want to go in that elevator? Good luck. No, man, I ain't going. He leaves, okay? I now walk 7 flights to go see my mother. I walk in, okay? My mother looked at me. She said, what the hell happened to you? I said, you look worse than I do. Now, moral of the story, I'm claustrophobic. I always thought if I got stuck in an elevator, I'd panic and I'd be, in Bellevue after that. Why didn't I panic?
kept yourself busy.
I took control. I took control. The minute I had had enough, I now started telling them what to do. And the more I took control, and I was very assertive when I was doing that, the more I felt I was going to get action. That's what the assertive caller is trying to do when they call you. They're trying to take control because they want action. You give them action, you tell them what you're going to do, it looks like you're doing it, right? You won that person over. They're not hard to deal with. The one that's hard to deal with is the irate, aggressive caller. And we're going to cover this when we cover angry customers, so I'm just going to skip over it. All right, so what do they want? They want somebody to own the problem. So either you own it, or you got to find someone who could own it, but you got to get the problem solved.